couple of videos back we created some screens, and here they are. Here we created a detail screen for every single one of our entities that are in our database. Now, strangely enough, although they're called screens, they will not be shown directly in the navigation of the application. They're used to create the structure between the relationships between these tables, and they will show the default data once the data is called. So it's now the first chance to put together a screen that will be used to directly enter data by the user. So we're going to look at the model just to see what we've got to do, and I'm going to show you how to enter data using a new screen for tutor type. Now, tutor type sits on the kind of the outside of the relationships, so that makes it very straightforward for us to do. So let's go back to here, and what I'll do is go to screens and right click. I could have done that. I'll go to screens, right click. I think that's what I normally do, I don't know why. Add screen, and I'm going to choose a new data screen. I think the new data screen is probably the simplest screen of them all, and as I said, we're going to try and use this to add a new tutor type. What I'll do is just select collegiate tutor type, and I could choose to create a multiple form, a sort of a parent and child form, to create tutors at the same time, but I'm not going to do that with this one. So I'll just do that, and the new form will be created. There's my form there, listed in the navigation bar, in the Solution Explorer, and here's how that form is laid out. It's time to test what we've done, and we're going to use our new tutor type screen to enter a new tutor type, which I'm going to call Specialist. Now, before you actually run your application, I find it's useful to do the build of the application, and you do that on my machine with build is just proved by F6, but you can do it through the menu even, and you'll see the build is running here, and it should report when it's successful. And the build has succeeded, so we know that there are no gross errors in my application. What I'm going to do now is click the Start button, and the Start button launches the application. Now, the first time you run it, especially if you haven't done a build, it will take a long time to build the application. There's a lot of logic being created, there's a lot of scaffolding being constructed to make our application run. So I'm going to do that, and I will shorten the wait time. Our application has opened, and because we only have one user-facing form, which is the new tutor type, that's the form that shows, and in fact this is the form. It doesn't look much like a form, and if we get a chance, if we get time, I'll try and teach you how to format the forms so that they look more practical if you wish. But here I do is I just put the word for my new tutor type, calling a specialist. You know, you might get somebody in who's an expert in something in particular. And with LightSwitch, what we have to do is we have to save the data. You'll notice that it has now added a new form because we created that. It knows about the relationship, and it suggests that you might want to add a specialist. Now, these two data items are linked. This is what would have happened if I'd created the tutor type and tutors form as a joint form. So I can now add a specialist. And my computed property is cut in, and I can now look at Melissa Franks, and this is in fact the detail screen that's showing. She's a specialist.